they were describing the players as they came on the plane. And she goes, oh, that, and the husband says, oh, that's Larry Bird. You know, he's one of the great players to ever play the game. And that's Kevin McHale. He's an all-star player and the second leading scorer on the Celtics. And I came on the plane, they said, and the father said, that's Danny Ainge. He's one of the meanest guys in the league. He once bit a man's ear off. And, you know, that's how stories get going. And I have no idea where that started.
Don't go anywhere. Ellie denied the paint. Then he takes it right back in there.
Oh, what a big turn. Now, Ellie, that's a taunting foul. Should give him a technical. Should give him a technical. Boy, Mario Ellie is lucky here. Now, watch what happens. And watch him go at Ainge right there. He goes right back at him. You see Scotty Brooks is happy. And right here, look at him go up at him. That's what you got to take out of the game right there. Now the Suns can't make one.
This game is going to wind down to a whimper for Phoenix. Olajuwon putting the cherry on the sundae. 118 to 102.
Ainge just tried to rifle the ball in, and Ellie is mad. I wonder if he did. Did Ainge do that on purpose?
Three-point attempt with 20 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Rockets up 31-21, and looks like Cassell and Ainge got involved. Cassell pointing at Ainge, Ainge walking towards him, and double technicals have been called by Bill Oates. So the battle continues. Danny Ainge and the rookie Sam Cassell having words. Double technical on Ainge and Cassell.
Well, look at the right side of your screen, down on the bottom over there, over on the right. Both Danny Ainge and Sam Cassell, the rookie, getting all tied up there, and they start shoving away. First, Dick Bavetta, I thought, was going to call just a double foul, and as he turned to go to the scorer's table, referee Billy Oakes saw more talking and more motions for going together and decided to call the double technical.
These are two fiery players. Sam Cassell now being calmed down by Mr. Mean himself, Larry Smith, who also played in very aggressive fashion. Maxwell. Danny Ainge has not been a favorite of Houston Rocket players or Houston fans off this incredible incident that took place in Game 3.
Well, Danny Ainge very upset with the actions of Mario Ellie and Olajuwon there as the Rockets were thumping the Phoenix Suns on their home floor and celebrating what Danny felt way too early. And he said he intentionally threw the ball at him, but did not intentionally try to hit Mario Ellie in the face.
Oh?
I don't know what he was aiming for. But, you know, Danny was not a pitcher, but an infielder. And
takes out the frustration on the basket. Here we go. Danny Ainge. Oh, a free-for-all. Coaches, officials all over the floor trying to pull them apart. It's still going on. We've got everybody on the floor involved. I thought they said the hockey game wasn't until tonight.
Well, Danny Ainge got the worst net. He's got Dan Roundfield and Tree Rollins on top of him right now. They can't get him off. Tree Rollins has got him in a headlock, but we saw that coming a while ago when Danny Ainge and Tree Rollins were getting into it. Well, you don't like to see this because, you know what? Somebody get hurt in something like this and miss the playoffs. This is not a good scene at all.
Let's see how it started. It looked like Ainge tackled Rollins, but they're still taunting each other here. This may not be finished yet. Wilkins wants a piece of somebody. The trainer, Joe O'Toole, pulling Wilkins back to the bench.
Frank, one thing I've always learned, never try to break up a guy fighting, especially big man. I did it 5 years ago with Daryl Dawkins. He punched me and split my eye open in the Portland series. If those big guys are going to go at it, you get out of the way because there's nothing you're going to do.
Ainge is leaving. Whether or not it's by injury or whether it's because he's been asked to leave remains to be seen.
I would be very surprised if Tree Rollins was not ejected along with Danny Ainge.
Well, Ainge looked like he tackled Collins. Let's take a look at it again. Here's how it started. The Roundfield flying down the floor. Then look at the elbow there on Ainge that was thrown by Tree Rollins. And now Ainge will tackle Rollins. Watch this.
Well, he was smart to go in low because Tree was going to throw a haymaker at him there. He had to get him down. Danny Ainge, baseball, basketball, looks like a nice open field tackle there also. Here's where you get hurt, though. Larry Bird, you see Larry Bird's shoulder like that?
Take a look at it, another angle. This is a pretty flagrant elbow that he threw at Ainge.
And he's retaliating for what happened while...
Try to run it up with Sally and Rodman. The Pistons have their running team in there. And Rodman hits the deck hard. And he almost bounced off the floor. And Mike Abdenauer, the trainer for the Pistons, has run out to Rodman. Ainge commits his second, and that was like a player bouncing off the floor. On that.
Oh, it sure did. It looked like Ainge went for the basketball and got a lot of arm. And Dennis Rodman was up there in the air and had no place to go and had no control and just hit that floor awfully hard.
This may be a 20-second timeout. Chuck Daly went over, and Rodman gets up. Apparently, he's all right.
Now here we'll watch Rodman filling that lane. Danny Ainge going up there, trying to get a piece of the ball. Doesn't. Gets a lot of Rodman, and boy, that young man, it was questionable at first if he was going to get up. It looked like he hurt his wrist.
Jordan has 43 points. Ainge changed his mind, started to go up, crowd wanted to travel, and then it's thrown away. Oh, Jordan and Ainge trash talking. Ainge with his hands on Jordan. Jordan just told him, get your hands off me.
Exactly. Now it's heating up. This is a series now. The series I come to expect that it was going to be. Like I said earlier, it was too much friendship earlier, and now they're getting into it the way a series in terms of a championship is supposed to be.
Looked like Jordan and Barkley had some words.
Exactly. So you can't be friends. You go up with something that everybody wants, and that's that diamond ring.
Bulls lead by 12. 2 minutes left, third quarter. Here's King. And he was fouled by Miller.
Let's go back a moment ago to where the little confrontation took place. Michael with the left elbow into Ainge's midsection. There they felt he traveled. Ainge feels the pressure, thinks his teammate's going to float to the right sideline in front of the Bulls bench, but nobody's there. Now Michael's talking to him, letting him know that the pressure's going to get worse. Ainge will take it so far, and then he's going to hold his ground.
Ball right here, the possession of it.
And it's controlled by Chicago. Jordan using the official Hugh Evans as a screen, and then he's pushed. Oh, Ainge and Jordan going at each other. Ainge and Jordan had a incident earlier, and they continue to talk. Michael had the finger pointed in the face of Ainge. He did not like
Phoenix, 22.
Did not like the body work from Ainge. The personal was called on Ainge and a double technical on Jordan, and Ainge handed out.
I still say that here's the play again. Now, you're going to watch it right here. After the foul, Michael throws his elbow up. Danny was hollering for an elbow. Then they got tangled up here. Danny gets mad, grabs the ball. Michael, they're just exchanging right now. But I still say if Phoenix is going to have a chance to win this game, they must go to Barkley or Tom Chambers. JJ is trying to do it, but I don't think he can do it by himself.
Jordan is 11 for 16 from the line.
Every possession critical. Ainge. And the rebound. Rodman had it and lost it. Has it again. And Ainge fouls Isaiah Thomas. And Ainge and Thomas. And I think that, well, it's a natural feeling for Isaiah Thomas, who was off to the races, and a good foul by Ainge.
It was. And Isaiah did a great job of keeping his cool. But there's Bird trying to make the rebound. And look, Isaiah busts out, and Danny Ainge knew that they would have had a fast break opportunity, and Isaiah saying, hey, I'm going to pop you in the chops, and then thinking better out of it. Good control by Isaiah Thomas. And the ball.
A shot and the ball.
Right.
One shot.
Two shots.
Two shots and the ball. No, one shot in the ball. Dennis Johnson turned around to check. But it's a moot point, really. Although you never knew down the stretch. The Boston Celtics are 4 seconds away. And Isaiah Thomas threw a body block on Danny Ainge and shook him up. The crowd boos Thomas. Thomas is out of the game. He has not fouled out. He just leaves it. And a bitter disappointment for the Detroit Pistons.
He flopped. Danny Ainge went in, tried to avoid him, and he went right down. I mean, he went down like he'd been shot. What a phony flop by Counterfeit Bill. On the left now, quickly, Lambier gets the ball to the sideline over to Dantley. Dantley has a pocket pick by Ainge. He's got Day out in front of him. Day takes the pass. Got nudged a little bit by Isaiah. But Isaiah can't do any wrong, so they don't call a foul. 74-73. Boston is out in front by 1. All right, Counterfeit gets the ball over to Dantley on the left. Back up top it goes to Isaiah. Now to Dumars. He got daylight. He shoots high off the glass. It's good. 75-74 the score. Boston is trailing by 1. Westiano Dandy. Now ball gets away from Danny Ainge. And as he goes in, he gets bumped by Dumars, or he does the bumping, and they have to be separated. Because here in Detroit, they don't want anybody to touch those lovelies. You don't touch the lovelies here in Detroit. And Dumars is going to go to the line.
I don't think that confrontation got real serious because they slap each other right now.
They you know, the heat of the moment. No question about it. I have a great deal of respect for Joe Dumars. Anyhow, he's just a tremendous competitor, a hell of a kid, and I have all kinds of respect for him. The heat of the moment, he had words with Danny after a hard foul. They collided. Dumars was going in for the layup. There was a bump. No question about who committed the foul. It was Danny Ainge. He had to stop that basket from happening, and he did. And I think Dumars realizes he would have done the same thing.
You really got to watch him because he makes things happen. And when Danny's feisty out there, that's when the Celtics play great.
I'm not trying to start any fights. You know, there's not a guy in the league I could beat up in a fight.
Is Boston's Danny Ainge the most obnoxious, most despised player in the NBA?
He's the type of guy you love to hate. He's a dirty player. People don't like him. None of us around here like him.
That's Danny Ainge. He's one of the meanest guys in the league. He once bit a man's ear off. And, you know, that's how stories get going. And I have no idea where that started.
Yeah, get it to Ainge. Ainge over the timeline. Lets it fly to the beginning of the goal.
I do everything pretty well, but I don't do anything great. I've always said that I'm the jack of all trades, master of none. You know, from the day I got here, Terry, Clyde, and Buck, and Duck, you know, they said that how much they needed me and felt that I'd be a big asset to this team.
He's my type of player. He's a feisty player. He plays hard. He's one of those type of players that you want to play on your team versus playing against.
Well, he's just an excitable boy.
Known for his fast on-court outbursts.
Danny Ainge, the Celtics GM, he made some comments, very pointed comments about LeBron James in reference to LBJ's comments about the officiating. And Ainge had to say, it's almost embarrassing that LeBron would complain about officiating. Of course, LeBron speaking of the Bulls game where their 27-game winning streak was snapped. And what do you think about those comments that were made?
I didn't like the comments that came from Danny Ainge because, or I should say, I don't have a big issue with what's going on.
All right, well, here's what was actually said verbatim. Danny Ainge said, well, this is Pat Riley. Speaking of Danny Ainge, he said he needs to shut the hoo-hoo up and manage his own team. He was the biggest whiner going when he was playing, and I know that because I coached against him. Here's LeBron James on said comments.
When
What did it mean to have the team president make comments supporting you and the efforts of this team?
That's who we are. We ride together, all of us, from the top to the bottom. We all protect each other on and off the floor, and it's it's big time to see that.
So you heard what LeBron James had to say, as you also heard what Pat Riley had to say. So what do you think about LeBron and Pat chiming in about Danny Ainge, who many say is a guy who knows a little bit about whining himself?
Yeah, he does. And I love what Pat Riley said here. That's the coach I remember in Miami. Someone that was not afraid of saying what he feels because he has evidence behind it. People remember Danny Ainge in Portland, as well as Boston and Phoenix, when he got touched a little bit. And it's like, oh, come on, Joey, you got to call that foul. So, you know what, worry more about your ball club, because this just opens up all types of things. And we've seen what kind of performances the Miami Heat has had against the Boston Celtics.
It's only a half-an-hour show, but if we could, we would get Joey Crawford on the phone, and he would chronicle those whining experiences by Danny Ainge.
I think people boo Danny Ainge because they're jealous of him. I think people boo Danny Ainge because they're jealous of him. I think people boo Danny Ainge because they're jealous of him. I think people boo Danny Ainge because they're jealous of him.